Okay, some of you thought that I was actually yanking your chain when I talked about the anti-camera movement, and there were a crap load of people today at the Woodland Art Fair. People from various parts of the United States, including a few other countries, come in to sell their artistic wares. However, I was distinctly unimpressed by the lack of creativity. It was just rather mundane. There were about 12 photographer booths where they were selling off their posters and prints, of which only 3 of those were impressive, but that's not the point I was trying to get to. The point was that I actually met, which was really neat, 5 people that said, "Oh, I know you from that YouTube channel," and one was kind of a grumpy old guy, although we got along, and I said, "Oh yeah," he kind of hesitated. I think he wanted to cuss me, but but he said, I said, "That's all right. Go ahead and say what you're thinking. You know, you're awfully opinionated." What I was thinking but didn't say is like, well, some opinions are worth more than others. There's a lot of YouTube videos where someone's got 3 lenses. Like, these are the only 3 Nikon lenses I've ever owned, and this lens is really good because I like it better than my other 2 lenses. I said, well, who gives a crap? I mean, that's wonderful that you've offered your limited spectrum of experience, but I don't know how that helps anybody else. Obviously, many statements are certainly so subjective. To give an objective analysis of whether a lens is good or not requires a much broader spectrum of experience. So, while someone, obviously, including myself, I try to limit it as much as possible, has a degree of subjectivity in making a statement about a particular lens, it is also certainly the case that some opinions are worth more than others. Like when it comes to flying an airplane, for example, I kind of trust someone that's a pilot more so than someone who's been playing flight simulator for 10,000 hours in their mother's basement. Both might be able to land a plane, but I would actually trust the subjective statements of the pilot ever so slightly more so than the guy that's been eating Cheetos in his underwear playing flight simulator. So my point being is that where subjectivity is concerned, some opinions are worth more than others. But the point that the one person that I met said is that he said, well, you're the only person out here that has any pro gear, and that was the case. I mean, I had a lot of people ask me if I was shooting for the newspaper. Look I've said, like, I got no muscles at all. I'm all fat and tattoo ink. I was packing around a case with 3 lenses in it and an Nikon speedlight. I had the very large Tamron 70-200 2.8, the Takina 100mm 2.8, and the Nikkor 1835, and I was packing around and using about 50% of the day the 24-70 2.8 Nikon here, and of course once you put that huge lens hood on it, it looks like a huge outfit. And I said, yeah, you're right. I've been here since like 8, a little after 8 o'clock, and I said, of the many shooters I've seen out here, you know, nobody else had any pro gear. Of course, it's not about the pro gear, it's about, obviously, the photographer, but there is a genuine anti-camera movement, and it's the same sort of douchebaggery that once iPads rolled out, that people, especially MacBook Airs, when they rolled out. I'm a huge MacBook Air fan, but you know, I can't sit there and be productive on that thing. There's this illusion of an anti-movement, anti-establishment movement in photography that does the same exact pathetic crap that went on with computers when tiny notebooks came out. It's like, I tell you what, when it comes to editing video and photos, you need a big-ass monitor and you need a big, honking, stinking-ass desktop. Because the little freaking laptops, no matter how expensive they are and no matter how fast they are, they won't friggin' cut it. They just don't cut it. And the same thing is true of the cameras. There's just this anti-camera movement. I mean, when all these, you know, people that are basically computer illiterate, they do everything on their iPhones now. You know, a lot of them are just, they never knew how to use a computer very well, and if they still have one, it's collecting dust, and they're just doing everything with some sort of little stupid iPad app or iPhone app, and it is called good enough computing, and the same thing exists now. There's an anti-camera movement. It's like, well, this is good enough. This thing will take interchangeable lenses. Electronic viewfinder and OLED display. That's good enough, you know. I can put a nice Zeiss lens on the front. It's like, oh, geez. You know, when you talk to them, they'll always ultimately say these two words: good enough, good enough. It's good enough. It's good enough. But I was surprised I was the only shooter there that actually had some serious gear, and I don't mean expensive, but I mean it could be old and serious. But I was the only person there, and I was there for 10 hours. You can see it from my sunburn. I was the only person there with actual serious gear, and I actually found that pretty shocking. I mean, not really, but considering what a huge event that was, that you know. Oh, and by the way, I was packing some. I only sat down for a total of 10 minutes, so I was on my feet for 10 hours. I was packing around a heavy D7, well, the D750 with the 2470, a bag with that huge-ass Tamron 70-200 2.8 VC, a Takina 100mm, a speed light, 2 sets of batteries, SC29 flash cable. I had all of that. I mean, some serious weight. And, you know, this notion that, look, I've got no muscles left. If I can pack that around for 10 hours nonstop and be okay, I mean, how, oh my God, I mean, what is wrong with people? I mean, this stuff's heavy. Are you kidding me? I actually ran into a photographer. He had a booth set up, and his work was great, and he's like, I just can't pack it. I mean, he was in great shape. He was younger than me, and then obviously, it doesn't take much to be in decent shape relative to me. I mean, I've got no muscles at all. It's like, I just can't pack around that heavy stuff anymore. It's like, are you kidding me? I was doing this for 10 hours a day with, you know, 2 huge friggin' lenses. 10 hours nonstop. I'm a total wuss with no muscles. And here's a person 15 years younger than me, with lots of muscles, complaining that this stuff is too heavy. I mean, are you kidding me? What sort of puss nation? I mean, you know, it makes no sense to me. I am weak, no muscles at all, and that these people that are in far better shape than me, far, far better, and far younger, are complaining about weight. I mean, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Absolutely unbelievable. But anyway, it's shocking. It's just part of an anti-camera movement. I mean, if I can pack around the heavy crap, it's just, it's unremarkable that other people are complaining about it.